Hello everyone. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Very
Sai.
good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning
Good
everyone.
morning.
Good morning, Sai. Happy
Yeah,
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Shall we start our class?
Okay, sir.
So in our last class, we were trying to understand network related concepts, right? What is network? How to establish a network? I mean, what are the components that we need to establish a network? And what is the TCP? What is UDP? What is protocol? We have talked about ports, and also we have seen IP addresses. How many IP addresses are there? Classes, different classes, and subnet mask, subnet mask, and public IP, private IP, reserved IP addresses, right? All those things we have seen in our last class. Fine. So anyways, as I said, in companies we maintain network teams and all. They will take care of all those things. You need not worry, but you should know. As I said, as I have given an example, you are driving a bike means you should know at least what is what, at least the basic things. Okay. So if you get any issue, anyways, you are taking that bike to mechanic only. Here also, if you have any doubt and all, anyways, network teams are there, they will assist you. But you must, it's good to have a basic knowledge. Okay. That's at least you should know. Three things you should know, guys. That is coming, the IP is coming under which class, and what is subnet mask, how many IP addresses we are reserving, and whether it is public or private IP. These things you must know at least. Okay, fine. I mean, someone asked, right? Sai, why a public IP is getting changed every now and then? Why not private IP? Which one to use at what time? At least you got answers to those questions, right? Right. If it is intranet, we use private IP. If it is external net, we use public IP. So that is so. We do it. Okay. Yeah. Now, with that basics, today we are going to start with one important service, that is VPC. Okay. Today we are going to start a service called VPC. So let's see VPC. It is also same like every other service in AWS, but comparatively it is important service comparatively. Okay. Now, VPC. The full form of VPC is virtual private cloud. Virtual private cloud. This is a full form of VPC. Now you should know why they have given that name. See guys, cloud. Yes, it is one of the cloud services. Just like Elastic Compute Cloud, virtual private cloud. These are cloud services. That's why they have given the name cloud. Virtual means which is not physical, which you cannot see, you cannot touch, but still you can use it. Every service in AWS is a virtual only. Correct? That's virtual. Private means, see, AWS cloud is a public cloud. AWS cloud, Azure, GCP, these are public clouds. That means anyone can create their own accounts. Anyone can use it. You create your own account. I can create my own account. Everyone can create their own accounts and we can use it because these are public clouds. But inside public cloud, I am going to create my own private cloud. These are private. Simple guys. Bank is a bank. Bank is a public one, right? Anyone can create their accounts. But in that bank, I'm creating my own account, correct? So when I deposit money, that account, that money will be added here. This is my account. So bank is a public property. In that bank, I have my own account. This is my private property. Got it? It is my own private property. Okay, that is so. Same thing. AWS cloud is a public cloud. In that public cloud, I can create my own private cloud. See. If you consider this entire white screen is a AWS cloud. In that, this particular portion is right. This is private cloud, my own private cloud. I'm repeating this. Focus on my blue color. This entire white screen This is AWS public cloud. In that, this portion is my own private cloud. This pink color portion is my own private cloud. It's my own private space in AWS cloud, where I define my rules and regulations, security features, and my own infrastructure I keep in my own private cloud instead of keeping in public cloud to have better security and to have better control over resources. For that, we are creating our own private cloud inside one big public cloud. Okay. So here, obviously, in this public private cloud means here, I'm going to launch many servers. Correct. Here, all EC2 instances. Now onwards, we are going to launch in my own private cloud. I'm repeating all EC2 instances, whatever are there. Those I'm going to launch in my own private cloud. Yes, that means it is one network. VPC is one network, right? So that's why what I do first, I assign IP address. Okay. See a simple example I'm giving here. Actually, this will be allocated by network teams, but just assume here, suppose if I give 10.0.0.0, you can take any IP address, any private range. Okay. 60 and 60. That means I'm allocating this IP range, that subnet, to this my VPC. That means here, how many IP addresses we get? Right? 32. You take big number, from that you subtract this number. So output is 16, 2 power 16. So total you will get 2 power 16 IP addresses here you get. These are private IPs. Okay. That means you can launch these many number of instances here. Okay. So that each instance will take one IP from this range. Okay. So I can launch a total of 2 power 16 instances so that each instance will take one IP address from this range. If you want more, you can increase this number. Okay, so that Okay, if you give small number, you'll get more IP addresses. See here. Suppose if I give 30. That means 32 minus 30. Okay, 2 power 2. Okay. Only 4 IP addresses you get. But if I give 29, that means here 32 minus 29, 3, 2 power 3. This is 8. So if you give less number, small number here, you'll get more IP addresses. Big number, less IP addresses. So that's why if you want more IP addresses, that means if you want to launch more instances, you reduce this number. That is so. Anyways, they will, these are network teams. Okay, how many servers are now? Fine. Now what I do, I'm going to dump all my servers here. Okay, now onwards, whatever instances I'm going to launch in my own VPC, virtual private cloud. I will dump everything here. But again, in those servers also we have segregation is there, classification is there. Okay, in those servers also, like see, we have, okay, you have Insta account, right? You have two options. Either you can make it public or you can make it private. Correct or not? Okay. So like that, here also there are some servers that you need to make it public. There are some servers you need to make it private. Okay, that is so simple. I'll show you. I'll tell you what actually happens here. There are two types of servers, guys. Mainly, those are web servers, and one is database servers. Mainly two types of servers: web servers and database servers. I'll give an example of YouTube. This is YouTube web server. This is YouTube database server. YouTube web server, YouTube database server. And this is my laptop. Okay, my laptop. From my laptop, I open browser and I type YouTube. I'm searching for one YouTube video. Okay, I want to see one video. When I see that video, see, observe it. Let me show you that YouTube actually, what actually happens here. Let me open YouTube and I'll show you. In fact, let me show you my own video. Okay. Yeah, you can see there's a YouTube video of mine. Okay, something related to DevOps and all. So here, there is a video, and here you can see the playlist of these videos. Okay, this is my video. See, if I play that filter, you can see. Okay, so video is being played. Now, what is happening here? That actual video, when I upload, that would be stored somewhere in database server. The actual video is there here in YouTube database server. And what is YouTube web server? See, this whatever screen you can see, right? These images. Okay, this portion, this is in database server actually. But remaining all these colors, okay, these everything, you can see. If I scroll down, you can see whatever you can see here. Yeah. So everything, these images and all these things, whatever you can see, right? The remaining entire portion is a part of web server. This is web page. You can see these colors and all. You can see these colors, different, all these options, everything. This thing they kept in their web server. Okay, see, when I type IRCTC, whatever you can see, that web related content, whatever you can see, right? This entire content, these images, the colors, fonts, everything they kept in web server actually. Everything they kept in web server. That means whatever that web content that you can see, screen and all the images, colors, everything, those are there in web server. But actual video is somewhere in database server, YouTube database server. Now what I do, I open my browser, I look for my video. Sidemi by Mr. Sai videos from Sidemi. Something when I type here, then what actually happens? My request, see, my request is going to YouTube web server. Okay. YouTube web server back and it will send one more request to database server. Okay, then it will get that video. And that video you are seeing here. And from that, you can able to see that video. That means your request will go to YouTube web server. Backend YouTube web server will send one more request to database server and will fetch that video content, or it will bring that content here. And from here, I can able to access that video. So that video I can see in my laptop's browser. That means in database server, they keep the data, actual data, the videos and the actual data. Web server, you can see just that web content only, except that video, remaining portion, everything. See, if I give an example of IRCTC, whatever web content you can see, right? That is, we call web content, right? Which is placed in web server. But when you book a ticket, your ticket details, your details, you enter your details, male, female, your age, your preferred birth, your ID proof details and all, right? Your name, okay, everything, those will be stored in IRCTC database server. Got it? So that is how it works. So actual data would be stored in database server. The web content, okay, you can see that they place in web server. Okay, when you send a request, the request will go to web server. Backend web server will send one request to database server, and it will try to fetch the data. From there, you can see the content in laptop. So customers are accessing web servers only. Everyone can access web servers only. No one can access database server directly. No. Suppose if they provide direct database server access to YouTube guys, then we can delete some data, we can destroy the data. Correct or not? So that's why no one can have direct access to database server. Everyone should be able to access web server. Backend web server should be able to pull the data from database server. Okay, that means anyone can access web server, but no one should access database server directly. Everyone should access database server through web server only. Okay, that means in this example, web server is a public property. Anyone can able to access. But database server is a private property. Only YouTube employees, their employees, YouTube employees, they should be able to access database server directly, but not others. Others should be able to access YouTube's database server through web server, that is. Okay. Guys, you understood this example, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That means there are two types of servers. One is web servers and the other is database servers. Here also, I'm establishing my own company, means here also I have my own servers. Correct? Or my own web servers and my own database servers. Correct? So that also, that I'm going to keep in my VPC. So since we have different types of servers, how can I dump all servers in one location? Correct or not? I need to segregate these things. So no, public server separately, private server separately. Yes, that's why what I do, I'm going to create two subnets. If you think VPC is one net, in that I'm going to create two subnets. Two subnets in this. Okay, two subnets. I'll create subnets. So subnet means, see, this is one big range. In that I'm creating two small ranges. So if you take one big cake, okay, so assume that it's a public one. Anyone can eat. But in that, I'm keeping two pieces separately. Those are part of that cake only. But here I'm reserving these two pieces. Okay, for me. These are the pieces of the cake. For example, here, how many pieces you can cut this cake? You can cut into how many pieces? As many as you want. But, okay, as long as they are inside that cake only. Correct? Can I cut a piece something like this? No. You can cut into any number of pieces, but those should be a part of that big cake only. Here also what I can do, I can create subnets. We call them as subnets. You can see. This is subnet. How many subnets you can create? As many as you want, but those should be part of this VPC one. Okay, see here, what I do. You know, right, how we calculate this IP range? Next IP is 0.1. 1 second. Here, next IP is 0.1. After that, 0.2. Then 158 will go to 0.255. That is 10.0.0.255. Then after that, next IP is going to be 10.0.1.0. Then 158 will go to 1.255. Correct? Then again it will go to 10.0.2.0, 2.255. Then after that it is going to be 10.0.3.0, then 3.1, 3.2, like this. It will go like this. Okay, finally 3.255. Then again 10.4. Like this. Up to how many IP addresses? Up till whatever 16, that count is right to, that's what 2 bar 16. How many IP addresses that we get in that? Till that. Okay. So what I do here, I will give here 10 dot see, 10 dot 0 dot 1.0 slash 24, and here I'll give 10 dot 0 dot 2.0 slash 24. Slash 24 means, guys, okay, 32 minus 24. Okay, 2 power 8. Right? 2 power 8 equal to what? 256. These they've given by network teams. You need not worry. Correct, 256 IP addresses, right? See, that means 0th and 255. Total 256. This entire portion is this one. Okay, here also same thing. But in 2 series, this entire portion is this one. That means out of this big net, see here, these are 2 pieces. Okay, I created 2 subnets to that. subnets have assigned IP range, this one and this one. Okay, that is so. So these are subnets inside one net. Understood? Subnets inside one net. Guys, I know that you are having confusion like, how to give that number accurately. We are not understanding how to give. First of all, you need not to give. Network team, they will calculate slowly. Okay, they will give you that number. Just you have to assign that number. Your job is just to assign. Okay, so you need not worry about that. But see, if they give something, you should understand what is happening here. See here 10.0.1.0, 24. 24 means 2 power 8 IP addresses. Okay, here. That is coming under which class? Okay, private IP. Okay, out of this net, yeah, these are subnets. We got 10 series on everything, right? You should understand only that much. Okay, guys, now please respond. You understood till here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that means these are subnets. I have created two subnets. These are part of big net only, right? So when you create a subnet, by default, subnets are private. By default, guys. Okay, by default, these are private subnet. That is the default behavior. Simple example, when you create a S3 bucket, by default, it is private. Until unless you make it public, correct or not? So here also, these are private subnet. That means, what is the meaning of private subnet? If you launch any server here, no one can access. No one. Okay, this VPC somewhere in Mumbai, right? So no outsider can access from outside. Okay, no one can access because that's the default behavior. These are private in nature. Okay, yeah. So if they are private, that is absolutely fine. So since I want to keep my database over private, that's why I keep my database over here. I launch all database servers in one subnet because I want them to be private. See guys, when you launch a database over here, that server will take one IP address from this range. This server will take one private IP address from this range automatically. Any should be in this series 10.0.2 series. See, you launch any server in this VPC, that server will have private IP address starting from 10 series. Especially when you launch in this subnet, this one, that server will take private IP address from this range. That should have 10.0.2 series. After that could be 1, 2, 3, 4, up till 255, could be any number. But should be 10.0.2, like that. If you launch any server here, that will have 10.0.1 series. After that, it may take any number. Okay, that is. Okay, yeah, fine. My server, database server, took one private IP address from this range. Fine. So here, how many servers I can launch? 24 means 32 minus 24, that is 8, 2 power 8. So in this subnet, you can launch maximum 2 power 8 servers. So that every server will take one IP address, right? Here also, I can launch maximum 2 power 8 servers. Later on, if you want, you can increase that network team, they will increase. Okay, fine. So database server is there, yes, which is in private subnet. Okay, no one should access. That is what actually I want. What I want, see here, I am going to launch one web server here. Web server means I want everyone should be able to access. Correct. But right now it is in private subnet. Correct or not? I want everyone should access web server, but that is in private subnet. That means no one can access. Okay, see, this VPC, we are going to create somewhere in Mumbai region. I assume that in Mumbai. Okay, so this is my laptop. Where I'm now, I'm in Pune. Okay, so that means I'm an outsider, right? So I should be able to access my web server. In fact, you see you should be able to access my web server, but you can't. Why? Because right now that is in private subnet. So I need to convert private subnet into public subnet. So if you want to convert any subnet into public, see here, if you want to convert into public, two conditions should be matched. Two conditions. Okay, two conditions. The first condition is you need to enable public IP. See here, I'm using the word called enable public IP to that subnet. You need to enable, not assigning, because you can't assign public IP. That is not in your hands. Internet service provider will assign public IP. But when it will assign, if you enable that option, there is one option that you get from where you can enable. If you enable, then internet service provider will assign public IP. Okay, simple. See, if you don't connect to internet, then how your laptop will get public IP? That means your action is first you need to connect to internet. Then internet service provider will assign public IP. Correct? So in the same manner, first you have to enable that option, then only internet service provider will assign public IP. Okay, I'm going to enable that option at subnet level, subnet. So that every server should be assigned with one public IP. That means right now, this server will get one public IP, will be assigned by internet service provider because already I have enabled that option. Then it will have anyways private IP because every server will get one private IP from this range. Right? But whatever database server, it will have only private IP, not public IP, because we are not going to enable public IP option. Right? Okay. That is the first condition. We have to enable public IP at subnet level. Okay. Fine. That means every web server will get public IP. See, why I'm enabling? Ultimately, I'm outside. I'm in Pune. So I'm in separate network, VPC in different network. If I want to access my web server, if they are in two different networks, I have to use public IP only. Then only I can access. Okay, because by using private IP, I can't access because in two different networks. So why I'm enabling public IP? So because outsiders can use this public IP to access my server. In fact, all web servers. That's why I'm enabling public IP. Simple. That is the first condition. Second condition is, see, this server should get internet. This is the address. But where is the path, the route? If you want to reach out to any house, first we should know the address of that house. Okay, where that house is located. Second thing, okay, if there is no way to reach that house, how can you reach? Even though if you have address, two things, you should know the address, that means that location, and also you should know the route also, how you go. So same thing, if you want to access, okay, there should be route. Ultimately, see, from your laptop till VPC, okay, that internet will be there anyways, that is your home internet. Home internet. Okay, till AWS region, Mumbai region, your home internet is there. But from there, VPC to that subnet. To that subnet. We need to have a path, we need to have a route through which you can go. So yeah, so that's what internet. We should have internet connection. Correct. But this subnet is not having internet access. This subnet, see, from your laptop to VPC, yes, I mean that region. Okay, you can think VPC, internet is there. That is your home internet. Okay, here you can see. But from that VPC till that subnet, we don't have any internet connection. So how can you reach? You can't reach, right? So that's what we do. The second condition is we need to provide internet access to that subnet. Which subnet? This one. You need to provide internet access so that people can reach out to my web server. To provide internet access, yes, we need to attach one internet gateway. You can see internet gateway. We need to attach to one VPC, and that internet gateway we need to connect to this subnet. Internet gateway is responsible to provide internet. Internet gateway is responsible to provide internet. Understood? And that itself is responsible to assign public IPs. Okay. So your internet service provider, which is responsible to provide internet first, and also it will assign one public IP to your laptop, correct? In the same manner. Yeah. So we have connected. That means this entire subnet is getting internet. Subnet is getting internet means every server inside this subnet is getting internet. Right? That means here, this is home internet from my laptop to internet gateway. From internet gateway to this subnet. Okay, internet gateway will provide internet. Got it? That means now I know the address and also I know the path. Path is there. Okay, route. That means happily customers can able to access web servers like this. So we enable both conditions. Both conditions are met, right? One is enabled public IP option, address, and also we have set the path also. Okay, we have provided internet connection. So now you can call this subnet as public, now only. So if you want to call any subnet as public subnet, these two conditions should be met. First one, you have to enable public IP. Second one, you have to attach internet gateway to that subnet, which is responsible to provide internet. Okay, done. Now this is my public subnet. Anyone can able to access. That is fine. Okay. This is for public. Now coming to my employees. Okay, including me. See, you, this is for you. Okay, you can access my web server. Okay, so what do you do? What actually happens here? Focus on my pink color. Customers, okay, you are or me, any customer. Okay, we can access like this. Okay, when you try to access any YouTube video, assume that this is complete YouTube setup. Then backend, this web server will send one more request to database server. Like this, you can access. You might be thinking, Sai, then what is the connection between public subnet, private subnet? No need. Why? Because all are in same network. We don't need any connection between public subnet and private subnet because all are in same network, same IP starting from 10 series. So no need any connections. Okay, all are internally connected. See, all are in intranet, correct or not? All are in one common network, intranet. So we don't need any extra connections. Okay, fine. Now coming to YouTube employees or my employees. Okay, employees. If they want to access my database server, assume that there is a issue in a database server. Okay, that they need to troubleshoot. My company employees actually. I'm not talking about public. I'm talking about my company employees. Okay, there is an issue in a database server. One file is missing. Small file is missing. They want to create that file. If they cannot access database server, how can they create a file? Because now no one can access database server directly. That is good for customers, but that is bad for my employees because they need to go inside database server. They need to troubleshoot. They need to do some work in database server. So what I need to provide database server access. That means private subnet access to my own employees. So they should suppose, okay, I'm admin. I should be able to access my database server, but not you. Correct? That means I want to provide access to only my employees into private subnet directly, but not others, but in a secure manner. How to do that? Simple. For that purpose, we are creating one more server called, yes, here I'm creating one server in public subnet only. That server either you can call Bastion or jump server. Either you can call Bastion or jump server. It is like a normal EC2 only. Normal EC2, guys. Since you are launching in public subnet, that will have one public IP. Because already we enabled public IP here. Every server will get one public IP. That will have one private IP. Because every server will take one private IP address from this range. And it is getting internet. Because we have an attached internet connection. That means this is our normal EC2 instance. Having public IP, having private IP, getting internet. Okay, that is fine. Then what I do here? What I do? See, one more thing you have to do. That is web server. What is a web server? Can pull data from database. So when for that you have to open port. There is no need separate connection, but you have to open the door of that particular instance, door, then only web server can pull data from database server. See guys, here you have to understand one thing. That is, web server is right. Web servers SSH port. Web server is having two ports. Here they assume that these are Linux instance. Right? For web server, Linux web server, we launched two ports. We opened. One is SSH, one is HTTP. Okay. HTTP, one is SSH. What I'll do, I'll open HTTP to all by giving 0.0.0.0 all. But this SSH port I'll open to only my company employees. Okay, as of now, I'm the only employee. So I'll open to myself, me. That means here, who can access web server to access web content through browser? Everyone. Because HTTP I open to all. But who can go inside this web server physically to run some commands? Only myself. Because this SSH port I have opened to only my laptop's IP address to myself. That means simple. Everyone can access web server, website, but who can type some commands by going inside the server? Only myself. Or I'll open to only my employees. That's fine. When customers, when they access web server, like this, okay, when they access, backend web server should be able to pull data from database server. That means my database server should accept my web server's request, correct? So that means I need to open one port for my database server. So the web server can pull data from database. Which port you open? Whatever database package that you install, because every database package will have its own port. Assume that I have installed MySQL package in the database server. Then you have to open a port called MySQL port. That port you have to open to entire public. See, actually, as of now, you should open to web server. So the web server should pull data from database server. But later on, I can launch any number of web servers. So every server should pull data from database server. Right? That's why what I do. I open this MySQL port to entire public subnet. That means this range, this entire range. See, web servers, HTTP port I'm opening to everyone in the world. Web servers SSH port I'm opening to only myself, only my laptop, IP address. Okay. And these database servers, MySQL port, I'll open to entire public subnet. That means this range. Because whatever server you launch, that will take IP address from this range only. So I'm opening to entire this range. That means entire public subnet. So that every web server should be able to pull data from database server. Okay. This MySQL port I have opened just for web server to pull the data. That is one thing. This is for customers. That's all. But what I said, if at all any issue is there in my database server, if at all any issue is there in my database, so okay, there is a small file is missing, we need to create. My employees should be able to create. Okay. So for that, they have to go physically through SSH. Assume that these are Linux server, database server. They have to go through physically through SSH. Okay. So what I do, I will open SSH port of my database server to only this particular Bastion server. I'll tell you why are we calling that one as a Bastion. I'll open to this Bastion server. See, MySQL port I'm opening to entire subnet. But SSH port I'm opening to only one particular server. Okay, that means my database server can accept only this Bastion or jump server's SSH requests. Correct? That means if any person is there here, he can come into my database server through SSH to run some commands. If at all, if anyone is there in Bastion because I have opened doors to only that particular server. Simple, guys. I have a room. Okay. This room door I have opened to one particular room. Only to this room. If any, see room A, room B. If anyone is there in room A, he only can come into room B. Okay, he only can come. Suppose if other room is there, C. I did not open room B's doors to C. So if anyone is there, he cannot go to room B. If at all anyone is there in room A, only they can go. They can go into room B. Because I have opened doors of room B to only room A. Got it? That is so. That means if at all anyone is there in Bastion, only he can go into database or physically to run some commands. Okay. But every server can able to pull data from database server. Because pulling data through it happens through MySQL port. So every server can pull data from database server, no problem at all. But who can go inside physically into that server if at all anyone is there in this Bastion? Now understand, guys, focus. This Bastion servers only SSH port. I'll open to only my employees or myself. That means these Bastion servers SSH port, I'll open to only myself, not everyone. Just like the web server's SSH port, I open to myself. Bastion server's SSH port, I'll open to myself. Okay, that means, see here, same again, that same example. Let me give. Can we get that room symbol? Okay, it's not coming. No, see, there is room B. Doors are there. There is room A. So I connected. I have opened room B doors to room A. And room A's door, I have opened to only myself. I kept biometric authentication something. Only I can go. Sorry, not others. Okay, so I kept some biometric and all. That means who can go inside room A? Only myself. From there, whoever is there in room A, they can go into room B. That means at the end of the day, who can go to room B? Only myself. Only myself can go into room A. From there, only I can go into room B. Correct? Simple. So here also, database of SSH port I have opened to only Bastion. Bastion serves SSH port I open to only myself. Right? Okay. So that means only I can jump into my database or I can go to run some command. From there, I can jump into my database server. Okay. See, I'm using this red color server just to jump into my database server to do some work in database server. The purpose of this red color server is just to jump into my database server. Otherwise, of no use. It's kind of mediator because I go one step here, from there I jump here. Okay, actually my intention is to go to database server, but for that I need one more server. Okay, in public server. Okay, I'm using this red color server to jump into my database server. Okay, so that's why I'm using this server for jumping purpose. That's why we call this as jump server or Bastion server. Jump word we use in Australian region and all. Bastion we use a word in US, UK, in that region. Purpose is to jump into database server. Okay, that is fine. That means securely myself or my employees can jump into my database. No one else, not outsiders, because I did not open to outsiders. Okay, that is one thing. Okay, so I entered into my database server. That is fine to troubleshoot something. So whatever file which is missing, I have created the file directly, everything I have created. Okay, everything I have created. But see, to perform few activities, we need to have internet connection in database server. To perform few activities, we need to have internet connection. Like assume that the database server, whatever is there, in that database package which is outdated. Assume that the package is outdated. I need to install the latest package in my database server. That means I need to download that one from internet. Correct. But this is not getting internet, private subnet. Only public subnet is getting internet because we have connected internet gateway. But private subnet is not getting internet. Okay. But I need internet to download the package. So you might be thinking, Sai, okay, happily, focus on my blue color. Sai, why can't you connect internet gateway to private subnet? So that every database server will get internet? No. If you do that, that is again security issue. Security issue. Hackers, they are ready. Okay, they always be ready to jump into my database server now. This is completely security issue. Okay, this is not the proper way. You can do that. If you do that, every server which is in private subnet will get internet. But this is not the way. Okay, this is not the authenticated. In the same manner, see, you might be thinking, why do we need Bastion? Directly, you enable public IP and you connect internet so that my employees can directly jump into database. So that time your employees can jump and outsiders also can come. They may try to access, hackers and all. That's why, right? In a secure manner. Why are we creating Bastion? In a secure manner, my employee should be able to jump. That's why I'm creating Bastion. In the same manner, I want to provide internet access to my database server in a secure manner. Okay. So for that, again, we are going to create one more server. That is what we call NAT gateway. This is not like EC2 instance. No, it is something different. NAT gateway we call network access translator or translation, or you can call translator. Network address translator. NAT. Network address translator. NAT gateway we call NAT gateway. Okay. So this is not like an EC2 instance. It is also one instance only, not like one normal EC2 instance, something different. Okay. Different in the sense, it doesn't have any ports. This is an enclosed room. It doesn't have any ports concept. That is what difference. But remaining things are same. It will have one public IP because every server in public subnet will get public. It will have one private IP because every server will take one private IP address from this range. And it is getting internet because every server in public subnet will get internet. Only difference is it doesn't have any ports. Okay, that is how they design. Now what I do, I will connect NAT gateway to private subnet. I'll connect NAT gateway to private subnet. See, that means NAT is getting internet here. NAT is getting, because every server in public subnet is getting internet. So NAT has the ability to pass internet to someone else. NAT is having two abilities. First of all, it doesn't have ports concept. Second thing, it can pass internet to others. Okay, if you connect. So what I do, I'm going to connect NAT gateway to private subnet. That means our entire private subnet is getting internet from NAT gateway. Okay, internet gateway is providing internet to public subnet. Okay, that means NAT also getting internet. Okay, from internet gateway. From NAT, we are pulling internet to private subnet. Okay, and there is no security issue because see, no one can come inside NAT because it doesn't have ports concept. It's an enclosed room. From there, no one can jump into my database server. That means in a secure manner, we are providing internet to entire subnet, private subnet. Correct? You might be thinking, Sai, can't we pull internet from these Bastion and web servers? No, you can't pull. They are not designed for that. Only NAT has the ability to pass internet. Okay, that's all. And you might be thinking, Sai, can't we access, instead of using Bastion, can't we jump from NAT to this one through SH? No, because it doesn't have ports concept. Bastion cannot pass internet. NAT doesn't have ports enabled. Okay, so that's why we are using different servers. Here you might be having one more doubt. So instead of Bastion, can't we use this web server for that purpose? See, web server. One of the web servers. See what I do. I open this SSH port to this web server. Then why do we need Bastion? Correct or not? This SSH port, I'll open to one web server. Okay, web server. So no, I can come. See here. I can come to my web server physically because I have opened to myself. From here, I can jump into my database server. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. But generally, we won't disturb web servers because the web servers are being created by auto scaling later on. So we won't disturb our web servers. That's why we keep one dedicated server Bastion. Okay, we won't disturb. That's why we keep one dedicated server. Just to not to disturb. If you really want, you can use this web server as a Bastion server, but we are not doing that. That's not a good practice. We keep one separate Bastion to have things separately. Okay, that's it. See, whatever you can do in your laptop, you can do in mobile also. But why are you keeping mobile separately? Because that's purpose is something different. I'm keeping something separately so that I can carry that one easily, right? But calling and all, everything we can do. If you really want, you can do in laptop also. Yeah, almost kind of same. Correct or not? That's by having external SIM and all something. If you really want, there are ways. But I don't want to disturb. It's not like I can't use it. It's like I don't want to disturb. That's the thing. That means here, everyone, see, three things is. Everyone can access my website, public. I can jump into my database server to run some commands. I can jump into my Bastion. From there only I can jump into my database server. And every database server is getting internet. Understanding, right? Okay, that means everything, all issues got resolved. Got it? Issues got resolved. So here, three things you have to understand. Between public subnet and private subnet, you can see three color lines, blue, red, and black. Okay, let me talk about these three. Black is for MySQL to pull the data. This is what's here. To pull web server, should be able to pull data from database. That's one. Second, blue. This is for internet. Just to provide internet to private subnet, you are using NAT. Then red color is through SSH access. See here, this is to go physically into my database. So yeah, these three connections are very, very, very important. Hey, this is not a final diagram. I'm going to add many more things. This is just a draft. Okay, this is skeleton structure. Later on, we are going to add many more things to this. Okay, that is it. And one small thing is here, you have to understand one small thing. You might have heard one word called router or route table. Router, or you can call router. In some countries, we use router, some countries we call router. Pronunciation varies from company to company. Like, finance. Okay, see, router. Both are same. Okay, that it varies from company to company. Sorry, country to country. So same, we have either you can call router or route table, router or route table, all are same. See, that purpose you might have heard in network, if you are from network background, you know the purpose of that router or router. But here purpose is something different. You cannot correlate. So say there the purpose is different, but here you are using for something else. Yeah, here purpose is different. Okay. So now I'm going to talk about route table. Remember that. See, you have two water pipes. You have two water pipes. This is one pipe. This is one more pipe. Pipe A and pipe B. If you want to join these two pipes, how you are going to join? You are going to have one attachment, one assembly, coupling kind of thing, right? See here. Yes. Joints. Let me show you. Yeah. These are one. You can see. You can see. Yeah. This is one pipe. This is one pipe. So how are you joining? With this attachment, this coupling kind of thing, right? This attachment. Correct or not? See, I'll show you one more example. Yeah, all these are examples only. Yeah, these are the whatever you can see on the screen, right? You can see here. One pipe here, one pipe here. So this is what attachment. Okay, joint. By using this, you can join. You can see. To attach three pipes, you are using one, attachment, right? Which holds those pipes together, which binds that pipes together tightly. Correct or not? Yes. So here also, if you want to attach, same thing. You need one attachment. Here also in the same manner, you can't attach internet gateway directly to this subnet. And also you can't attach NAT gateway also to subnet directly. You can't attach. There is no such kind of provision. Directly you can't attach water pipes, right? You need one attachment. Here also, yes, we are going to use one attachment. Let me change the color. That attachment we call root table. That attachment. Root table. So here, what we do, to connect internet gateway with public subnet, you need to have root table in between. Okay, to connect private subnet with NAT gateway, you need to have root table in between. You can't connect these gateways, either internet gateway or NAT gateway, to their subnet. You can't attach directly. You have to have one attachment, that is what root table. That means here root table is acting like a coupling, joint. Okay, joint. So that is how they designed. That's it. Okay. So just remember these. Right. Carlo. Fine, guys. That's it. Okay. So these are basic skeleton structure of VPC. Later on, I'm going to add many more ones. Okay. So even though if you have any doubts here, don't worry. Tomorrow I will give a quick recap of all these things. Okay. Once be in you guys. I know this topic is a bit tricky. Yes, this is how it is. That's why it is the most important. I tried my best to explain clearly. Many people, they get confused like anything here. In fact, to work, senior folks, working employees, because these are most important service. I tried my best to explain in an easy manner. And even if you have any doubts, don't worry. In next class, tomorrow's class, I'm going to repeat this one for the first 15 to 20 minutes. Then on top of that, then we'll add. I'm going to show practicals. So even if you have any doubt, those will be clarified in tomorrow's class. So no problem at all. Okay. So you may not understand this one in first go itself, because human brain cannot remember things in first go. So you have to revise this one again. If you go through this video 2 to 3 times, then things will be clear. Okay. Now, if you have any doubts, you can ask me, but don't go into practicals. Say how we do it and all. You don't ask that question. That's what I'm going to show practically. But if you understand theoretically, then you will understand practicals easy. Yeah. Any doubts from anyone?
Yeah, sir. Hello.
One more thing. One second. You understood, guys? This one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine.
Sir, I
Now-
have to ask one thing. We have RDS, right, for database. So why are you using the database server?
See, there are 2 ways through which we can create database server. Either you directly take Amazon provided RDS, they are directly giving a database server, or one way. Second way is you launch your own EC2 instance. Okay, you launch your own EC2 instance. Inside you install database package and you put the data. See, we launched web server, the way we created web server, you remember? We launched EC2, we installed web package, we created, or else directly you take web server itself, that they are not giving AWS, but AWS is giving database over directly. So that is up to you, your choice.
So if that we want to secure that data RDS, then
Don't
what
worry,
we
don't
need
worry.
to-
That we have separate section is a see. The database we have separate section is there that I am going to show you separate section. After VPC, then we are going to see database. I mean, after Route 53 database only we are going to see. Don't worry about that. Okay.
Okay,
Hello, sir.
thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, 10.0.1.0/14 is the subnet ID, right?
So yeah, it's a group of IP addresses we are assigning to. This we are assigning to VPC. This we are assigning to subnet.
Okay, sir. If one, what is the a full definition of a subnet or net and VPC?
Full definition.
Yeah.
Virtual private cloud VPC means subnet. It's a out of big net. It's a small net. You understood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, while opening SSH port to Bastion server, we are going through Bastion server. Can we open port to directly to the IP address with our employee?
I mean, see, this port you want to open to employee directly.
Yes.
Even if you open, they can't access. Okay,
Oh.
because it doesn't. See, others outsider cannot access. Why? Because see, from outside, if you want to access, this should have one public IP. Correct? Because see, from outside you are coming. You should have public IP, correct or not? Please respond. It doesn't have public IP.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why if you assign public IP, again, that's a security issue, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't have public IP. So outsider can access, I mean, outsider means myself. I can access Bastion because it is having public IP.
Yeah.
That means right now I'm inside network because in VPC, right? So from here to access this one, I don't need public IP, I need private IP.
Yes.
Because both are in same network, correct or not?
Yes.
That is so.
Yeah. So this SSH port will open to that Bastion server
only.
IP.
Yes. Bastion servers IP, private IP. Because see, coming to you might be which IP we are opening. Internally means private IP, externally means public IP. Simple. See, web servers HTTP port to all. All means everyone's public IP. SH to me, I'm outside, means I'm opening to my public IP. Bastion to me, that means I'm opening to my public IP, laptop's public IP.
Right.
Here, SH port to Bastion source IP means Bastion source private IP because both are inside. MySQL port I'm opening to public subnet. This range means this is what private IP because everything inside. That is all.
So this MySQL port will be open to that subnet. Private subnet, right? Web server private subnet.
No. Public subnets. This range means private IP range. Got it?
Yeah, sorry. Public subnet of the IP range will be this.
Correct.
Range. Okay. And say so once we enable public here IP here, so we have the range subnet range like 10.1 to 16, right? So the public IP will be different than out of this range, private IP, the sorry subnet range.
No, come again.
So we have this IP range 16, right? 10.0.0 to 16. So means for VPC we have this range of IP. So when we enable public IP, so those public IP will be out of this range.
Yeah, see, in last class I think already I have explained. 10 series coming under which range? Public or private?
Private.
Yeah, the entire time series is private.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, public IP will be in different range, right?
Yes. Okay. So that we cannot handle. That will be given by.
That will be
Internet.
internet service. Anyway, see, I'm going to show you practically, right?
Yeah.
There things will be clear. Which IP I'm opening, there I will explain again. Okay. Now don't worry about public or private IP. Just understand the concept. That's it.
Got it.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
This NAT, we are placing this within the public subnet, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it is secured and it cannot be hacked, right? Like that.
Yes. Why? Because it doesn't have ports enabled.
Yes.
Correct. That's why it is secure. And why are we placing only in public subnet? Because to provide internet to someone else, first it should get internet, right? Correct.
Yes.
When it will get internet, if it is in public subnet, because every server in public subnet will get internet provided by internet gateway. Got it?
Okay.
That's it.
Hi, Sai. This is
Hello.
Srinivas.
Yes, please.
I heard a word NACL. What is NACL?
Yeah, wait. That is what I said, right? We are going to add many more things. So in that NACL also I'm going to add, but not in today's class. Okay.
Okay.
So this internet gateway just to give an internet access.
Yeah, internet access and also to provide public IP addresses.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, why we enable public IP in jump box?
Because see, first I'm outside. I'm in Pune. I'm an administrator. I want to jump into database server. I need to go to my bastion.
Yes, sir.
So I'm in Pune. Bastion server is in Mumbai. So by using public IP only, I can go. Got it?
Okay.
That's all. No more doubts? Okay, guys. Again, don't get confused. That's okay. I can understand. Okay, so no problem. Tomorrow I will repeat this one entirely for first 10-15 minutes. Then after that only we'll jump into practicals. Okay, don't worry. If you still have any doubts, you go through that video so that most of your doubts will be clarified. And tomorrow remaining doubts will be clarified. Okay, so don't take tension at this stage. Okay. Yeah. So that's it, guys. That's it for today. Thank you all. See you in tomorrow's class, same time. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.